Good morning, good morning, good morning. We're live. We're live.
Y'all excuse me for getting dressed live on the show.
Bustling about.
I had to give Lisa a little appetizer. All right. That came from Nutty Professor 2 when Grandma went into the buffet. And the mom said, Mama, you still got a butter? Oh, y'all have to excuse me. Mr. Isaac need a little appetizer in the car. That's not what we're here to talk about.
No, it's not. We're here to talk about something that I think can be a challenge.
Okay.
The topic is you're talented, you're gifted.
It came from a rap in the 90s by a kid named Special Ed. He has a line goes, I'm talented, yes, I'm gifted.
Never boosted, never shoplifted.
But it got me to thinking about that whole era and the preceding era. There was a lot of braggadocious rap. They were celebrating themselves and they wanted you to know it. I'm big, I'm bad, I'm so and so, all of that kind of stuff. And it permeated our psyches. You know, I'm bad, taking out all rookies. So forget Oreos, eat Cool J cookies. I'm bad. Okay, I'm bad. I want you to know I'm good. Not bad meaning bad, but bad meaning good. From Run DMC. But you do have talents and you do have gifts. And let's find your rap.
Yeah. Okay, Shirley, good morning and happy Tuesday to you. We are going to talk about it today. You are talented, you are gifted. What does that mean and what does it mean to you? Mm-hmm. Let's talk about it. Back in a moment.
Good morning, my name is Brian McNeill.
And I am Lisa Santiago McNeill.
And thank you for joining us on our show, Let's Talk About It. We come to each Monday through Friday right here on the SIBN network, on iHeartRadio, YouTube, TuneIn, as well as Facebook Live. Good morning.
Good morning, good morning. Like.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Today's topic, and take a moment, if you will, to share and like the video. Today's topic is you are talented, you are gifted. Coming from the paraphrase lyric from Special Ed, I'm talented, yes, I'm gifted. Never boosted, never shoplifted.
Yeah.
He has got to be 50 now.
He's my age. I think he's 55, 56.
Yeah. You're about to be 56.
I know. What? Is that soon?
Yes.
Oh, God.
Yes. November 25th.
Well, I'll tell you, I was in a meeting yesterday and I was giving counsel and the guy was like, well, I guess you're never too old to learn is what he said. And he said that to me and I was like, well, I'm older than you think. He goes, I'm sure I'm 20 years older than you. Oh. I said, you'd be surprised, bro, because I felt like I had an idea how old he was.
Oh.
I said, well, look, man, this ain't cotton in my face here. This is really age. He goes, I'm sure I'm older than you 20 years. I said, they didn't look it now. I said, okay, well, I'm 55. He goes, that's pretty good. I'm 84. Oh. He did not look 84.
What?
No, he didn't.
Okay.
And his business is getting your mind right to maintain your health.
Because that's what's necessary.
That's what it did for him. He said, if you control your mental, you could stay healthy. That's his ministry.
That was actually what I was today in my morning meditation with John Silva, with Jose Silva. Well, it's John, same thing. Mm-hmm. With Jose Silva, one of the meditations that we do during that session is we cancel out all of the negative energy, all of the negative thoughts, all of the negative feelings, and we receive the power to heal, control our blood, and destroy any cancer, destroy any diabetes, and destroy anything. He just said it over and over again during the meditation. It's only a 17-minute meditation, but I enjoy it in the morning.
Yes, you do. And that's a damn Hot damn, not the right word. Very powerful message you got today.
It is. Yeah, it was. And especially a powerful at alpha levels.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So I'm grateful for that.
Trying to get to the shigio.
Get to the shigio.
All right. Now, why would you do such a thing, Lisa? Why would you spend 17 minutes in the morning listening to some guy talk about canceling the negative and accepting the positive and all that?
Well, it's a guided meditation. And I do my own meditations. And definitely, Shirley, I do my own meditations, and it's self-care, but sometimes
Self-care.
Sometimes I need help. So I go from the guided meditation, and then I listen to either Stephen Furtick, TD Jakes, or Dr. He's dead now.
Oh, Miles Monroe?
Yes.
I'm Dr. Miles. Good morning, Sheila Gothard. How you doing?
Yes.
Sheila and Shirley, you're talented. Yes, you're gifted.
Never boosted, never shoplifted. I love that lyric. I don't know why, but
I know, but I always stop there, but you keep going.
I have to. It's like they go together.
I guess. But the celebration is the song. Okay?
Was he from Mount Vernon?
He's from Brooklyn, probably.
He's from Brooklyn, probably.
I don't know, baby, but that's not the point. The point is,
it's not the point, but it's a conversation.
The name of the song is "I Got It Made," and he's bragging about stuff he doesn't have.
Mm-hmm.
I got a treaty with Tahiti because I own 1%. He obviously doesn't have a treaty with Tahiti, and he doesn't own 1% with it, but he's bragging about it anyway. I make fresh fries daily. You beat me, really? He's bragging. Okay, all these rappers that were the era that we grew up in, they were bragging.
And I think that it was a harmless bragging. It was actually,
but even before that, even the melody should be young, gifted, and black was a beautiful song in the 70s when we needed that kind of encouragement. Young, gifted, and black. I can't do it like he did it, but it was a great song and everyone would sing it. But all of these songs that are celebrating what? Our gifts, our talents. And we do have talents too. I probably should shift the arc of the show a little bit because we do have talents that we don't brag about.
Some talents that we don't even utilize.
And some talents we don't even utilize. When you say talents that we don't utilize, the classic example I go to is my ex-wife. I was married to her for 3 whole years before I knew that she was an amazing singer.
And she is.
And she is, but she never sang.
Yeah. She still is.
Yeah. But she didn't sing. For 3 whole years we were married. Before I had the baby in my arms and I was in church and she came out and led a solo. I was like, who is that? I had no idea that my wife could sing like that. And I was so off balance behind that.
Yeah, I guess.
And I found out all her family knew it when she was growing up. She had sang at everybody's weddings. Okay, she had sang all over the church. That's before we got married. She did all this singing. Her family thought she was a great singer. All her family thought she was a great singer. But 3 years of marriage before I even discovered it.
Wow.
That's a gift that she had hid it in the ground.
Yeah. But see, that's a good example, but I was actually thinking about it a little bit differently. And I so when someone
Wow.
when someone else is operating in the same gift that you have, and you are in the same or parallel universes, right? Your universes touch somehow. There are some times that them operating in their gift might make you remember that you also have that gift.
Yeah, I can feel that.
Right? Mm-hmm. And then what do you do with that?
That's a good question, but are you going to explain the histrionics?
No, I'm not. I made my way through it, so you don't need to know all the histrionics.
Okay, Sister Shirley says, a lot of people do not think that we are gifted and talented, especially in my business.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we get underestimated sometimes.
And undervalued.
Let's separate those two. Underestimated, for one, can be used to your advantage, but undervalued is sometimes oppressive.
It is not just to the person using your services, but also to yourself.
You're talented. Yes, you're gifted.
Good morning, William Brown.
William Brown, you are talented. And here's another thing I was thinking this morning.
So you're not going to help me flesh out the topic I was
I just asked you.
No, you asked me to explain the background behind it. I said I'm not.
And you said you wasn't going to.
Right, I'm not going to.
So I thought that was the end of the sentence.
No, that's not.
Okay, go where you got to go, because I was going to say.
Go ahead.
You go ahead.
No. What are you going to? I'm obviously having challenges with what I want to say. So
and then you shut me down that you're not going to do it.
No, I'm not. That okay? Have you ever been shut down before and didn't keep going?
Of course I did.
I could pull up a calendar and pull out a few.
I said, of course I have.
That's right.
Told no and shut down, and I kept going anyway.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because it's something I wanted.
Oh, so you're saying you don't want to help me get to the comment?
I want to be respectful to you saying, no, I'm not going to do it.
Just because I'm not going to give you the background of it does not mean that I'm not going to give you what came from the background.
Okay, Lisa, give me
whatever, I can't now.
Whatever part you want to give.
I cannot. You're making it difficult.
I'm not trying to make it difficult.
Good morning, Dr. Beverly. Good morning. Yes, you are. It needs to come naturally. And I need you to help me
with all of these instructions.
Oh, naturally. My God.
Don't ask about this part, but ask about that part and do it naturally. Wow. Good morning. Is that wait. Is that Belinda Dare to Be Different Houston? Also known as Hollywood. Is that who that is? Is that who popped into our show? Beautiful. We got another celebrity in the house, a celebrity guest appearance. Sister Belinda, what's up? Good morning, Dr. Beverly. We're always happy to see you in the room. She goes, good morning. You know, your talents and your gifts, sometimes, maybe, I don't know if this is where Lisa was going, but sometimes they get unearthed because of situations. Sometimes you have to rise to the occasion and find out you have a gift in something that you didn't even know about, or a talent for doing something you didn't even know about.
Oh, you did know about it, but you began to not use it.
Or you did know about it, but you began to not use it. Yeah, okay. There was I'm watching an episode of Ballers, rewatching the series Ballers, and there's this one player. He retired, and he came back out of retirement for one more year, and he decided he wanted another year, but the team said, no, we're not going to retain you for another year. And then they called him into the office, and he was upset. And he goes, we want you to work in the front office with us because you obviously have opinions. You know, we don't want you in the field. We want you in the front office. And then he's doing the job that they offered him, and he found out that he had a talent for it. He didn't know he had a talent for it until put in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
And then screaming it loud, she goes,
yes,
yes.
I'm in the building.
I'm in the house, Mr. B. Has she ever called me anything but Mr. B?
No.
I've known her since you first started publishing. So since 2016, she's always and only called me Mr. B. That's nice to have you in the room. Belinda, do you realize that you are talented and you are gifted? Dr. Beverly, do you realize that you are talented and gifted in areas? Sister Shirley, you are talented. You are talented and gifted. I always think about the difference in gifts and talents. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Sheila says, when you recognize the talent in someone else who has the same talent and gift as you, it makes you elevate your own talent and encourage even more people. Does it?
Doesn't it? But is that close to where you were going?
That's a part of the way. That's part of the direction that I was going. Thank you, Sheila.
Are you going to keep cloak and dagger in this or what? I'm doing something. So now I'm wrong. Okay. What did I do? There's so many spoofs that just popped in my head about men. We don't know what we did. when a man gets into an argument, like men, or that commercial, it goes, men, we don't know what we did. Belinda Houston, wait a minute. Belinda says, thank you, Sheila. Yeah. Now, Belinda, if you don't know, Sheila Gothard is pretty damn smart. She said a lot of cool stuff and a lot of thought out things. Y'all should probably get to know each other. That's one of the best things that happened over the years on this show, is you guys get to meet each other. How many of y'all knew how cool Shirley DeJohnette Wyatt was until she started making regular comments? That's one of the best things. What? Golly.
I love you.
What's that about, man? Is that one of those bless your hearts, I love you?
No, I love
like
you.
Like kissing them off or something?
No, I didn't kiss you.
I'm trudging on. I'm trudging on is what I'm doing. I'm trying to carry the air.
Right. Okay. So when you recognize that someone has a talent, someone else has the same talent as you and your gift, as you elevate your own talent and encourage even more people. So that means that you meet, you see, hey, I can do that, or I do that too. And then you push forward in that area. But what happens when you see that happening, and instead of pushing forward in it, it makes you shrink, say, oh, somebody else already does that.
Then what happens is the world is diminished. The whole world is lessened because you didn't do what you were here to do. Whenever we don't share or teach or bless the people that we're here to share and teach and bless, the world is diminished. The world is not as big. The world is smaller because you don't. Shirley
DeJohnette Wyatt says, sometimes you don't know how to do the things, but God will give you the wisdom and the knowledge.
And that's so true. I've heard so many stories, like Zig Ziglar say, sometimes he knows that God spoke for him in situations, especially when it comes to dealing with his children. And he had the chance to reflect back, and he goes, I'm a smart man, but I ain't that smart. God, you had to have done that through me, because I couldn't have come up with that on my own. He acknowledged his Heavenly Father as having delivered a word through him that he could never come up with it on his own.
Absolutely. I often say that. Good morning, Dr. Deborah. You are talented.
Dr. Deborah, do you realize that you are talented and you are gifted? Sheila Gothard, you are talented and you are gifted.
Okay. So I'm trying to take the gloves off.
Here we go.
Stop. Don't.
I want to hear it.
I'm trying.
I'm bracing myself. Go ahead.
Don't brace yourself. Brace me. So
then we don't know what we did.
Yeah.
Dr. Beverly says,
I had a millionaire call me last night, and when I saw who it was, I didn't even answer the phone, and I almost got angry because of the way that person treated me. Access denied, abort the mission. This person was supposed to help me with my talent. Didn't happen, even after the finances with this mentor.
Even after the finances with this, I could do that, Sheila.
You can do it.
Oh, she said, Brian, read the room. I almost thought she was like, Brian, leave the room. I can leave. I can do that.
No, you don't have to leave.
Okay.
Real sweet potato.
I don't know what she's talking about there. I don't know what she's talking about. I don't know what's going on here in this moment. But I'm gonna keep moving. I'm gonna keep swimming. I don't know everything going on, but I'm gonna keep it moving. Okay. Thank you for that, Dr. Beverly. You hearken, and what you often do for me. See, Dr. Beverly, you have a ministry, Dr. Beverly. All your transparent confessions, Dr. Beverly, are ministries. And I can tell you how we know it's ministry and preaching. Because when you say stuff, Dr. Beverly, these comments you write, it causes me to think about things in my life. That's how you know you're getting good preaching. That's how you know you're hearing a good word. So I appreciate you, Dr. Beverly. You reminded me of some stuff there, too.
William Brown says, interesting topic on our journey to discover and being our authentic selves. Gifts and talents appear, and we can overvalue the gifts and talents and undervalue ourselves. The challenge is balancing it all.
The challenge is balancing it all, but there's no instruction book on how to. That's the challenge. I've heard it said before that life is like learning how to play the violin in public with no instructions. Okay. Going back to my friend, Dr. Beverly, I had a phone conversation with a friend or the guy I had an acquaintance with. He's a multimillionaire. He owns several shopping centers. He owns a retirement community, a seniors retirement community, and several barbershops. Okay. Now, he's an acquaintance of mine. I knew the kid. Well, he's my age, a little bit younger than me, actually, or a little bit younger, close to my age. I knew him when he was just a barber before he had acquired buildings and shopping centers. He was a barber, but he always was serious as a barber. I knew him then, and he's gone on to become a multimillionaire. And we got on the phone with each other last month. And it boggled me because he seemed to be seeking my counsel, and he seemed to be preparing me to mentor him. It was like he was asking me, look, I need to be able to talk to you from time to time. He was getting me set so that I could be in a mentor role to him.
What happened?
We still talk, but not, I haven't talked to him since that moment.
Oh, no?
I don't know what happened since then. I don't know what happened. Maybe I could call him anytime.
You should. LaTanya, good morning to you. You actually came to mind. I hope you and Sam enjoyed dinner en blanc.
Yes, and y'all look good.
But actually, that's what I was going to say. The first person that came to mind when you were talking about the person that you met yesterday who said he's got to be 20 years older than you was actually LaTanya. She's not older than me.
Why?
But I thought she was a kid when we first met.
Yeah.
I thought she was a kid. And I was almost disrespectful because I was like, this kid up in my face.
She's our age.
Trying to act like grown people. And then I found out she was our age. I was like, oh.
Well, she does look young.
But she looks really young.
And LaTanya, Lisa cannot be the first person to think that you're much younger than you actually are.
Young and beautiful and wise and exuberant, and I really love LaTanya and I enjoy being around her. But I'm serious. When we first met, around like not just first met, but like the first few times we got together, I was like, why is this child keep coming around?
She's not a child. Dang.
She is not a child.
Because I used to get that a lot. I was disrespected so much in my youth because they thought you were younger than you are.
Yeah.
But you just said she's young and beautiful and wise.
Wise.
You just said wise.
Very wise.
Let me tell you when I found out she was wise.
How?
Now, I'd seen her around a bunch of times. We'd been in each other's company. I'd even seen her do workshop, an event. But there was a time when I was having an issue with my son. And it was pressing on me. Mm-hmm. And it was on my face. It was on my face, and I was trying to maintain it. And we had a joint men win, and we had gotten together.
Yes.
And anyway, I was by myself standing there, and she just came over behind me, and she offered such a loving and wise counsel.
She is.
About that. And I looked at it, I was like, oh. And I made me look at her entirely. Maybe not entirely different, but I appreciated her wisdom in that moment.
Well, I am glad that I allowed her energy to pour me because I'm really, really anti-millennials. I really am anti-young people in grown people's faces.
It's getting harder and harder to stay that way.
I know
because they're around you all over.
Absolutely, okay. And they like me.
Sister Fallon M. Flowers.
But I love LaTanya so much that I was like, okay. All right. And then when I found out she was a grown-up, I was like, yes, she's a grown-up.
Fallon and Flowers, welcome to our show.
Hey, Fallon, good morning.
Let's talk about it. And I'm happy to have you in here, too. Fallon and Flowers, this is beautiful to have you welcome. If you've never been a part of this show before, she's looking at us through LinkedIn.
Yes.
Thanks for joining us. And you've got beautiful letters all around your name.
Alphabets.
She got all the letters, and I call you whatever you want, doctor, whatever, or because you've earned every one of those letters. Actually,
Stephanie said, "Wow, me too." Are you talking about LaTanya, Stephanie? Did you think she was a youngin?
Stop it, y'all! Y'all gonna embarrass the lady.
She's beautiful and young.
Today's topic is you're talented. Yes, you're gifted.
Oh, she said she loves seniors. Yes. Absolutely.
Oh, I love seniors.
Me too. I prefer them. I prefer them in my company. I prefer elders forever. Fallon said, "Yes, I'm a millennium." I know. I love you, Fallon.
See, you a millennial. She's a millennial.
I get it.
You know why, Fallon? I mean, you all know why we have challenges with millennials, especially 24-year-old life coaches.
They grew up on Google and they think that is everything.
24-year-old life coaches is my go-to move when I talk about them. Because maybe you can life coach 18-year-olds, but you can't life coach 55-year-olds. Okay, but she's a millennial, but it's getting harder and harder to not work with them and accept them because there's more and more of them.
Well, you know what?
Space.
That might be true, but you know what else I'm finding? I'm finding the differences in millennials. 35-year-old millennials are different from 20-year-old millennials.
Is 20-year-old millennial? Isn't that something else?
Is that something else? I don't know. Everything after
Gen Z, XYZ,
no, I think you're Gen Z.
I'm 55.
Right.
Okay. What's that? I think it's Gen Z too. I don't know. Gen X, maybe?
No, that's older.
Okay. Older than me?
Yeah.
Gen
X.
Are
people that are older than me.
I understand that, but is Gen X older than me?
Yes. Doesn't X come before Z?
Yeah. You know what? There's other alphabets that come before Z too. I think it's 25 other letters. By the way.
Oh, okay. Fallon says, I'm really consider myself Xennial since I'm on the cups of Gen X.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Gen X.
Gen
so
X.
We're Gen X. Okay, Lisa.
Okay.
You know, I am actually very good friends with 25 letters of the alphabet. I'm very good friends with 25 of the letters of the alphabet.
Why?
Well, I don't know why.
Why?
You get it? I don't know why. I'm good friends with 25 letters of the alphabet.
And he's really tickled right now.
And I don't know why. Get it?
Anyway, you are gifted.
That is a classic pun. One of the greatest puns.
Dr. Deborah, no.
See?
No!
Yes. That was very funny. Thank you.
That was not.
I don't know why. Get it?
Got it.
When I said I'm very good friends with 25 letters of the alphabet, and you went to your histrionics again.
My histrionics.
Because you knew I was going to say something punny.
Punny?
Yes.
Stephanie, no!
Yes, it was a good one.
Don't encourage him.
You're talented and you're gifted. You know, the dark side of talent and giftedness is if we don't use them. Or if we're afraid to use our talents and gifts.
That's sort of where I was going with it, was the dark side, right? Not if we're afraid, but if we are the same. And I teach this. I guess I teach this because it is near and dear to me, right? So when you go to the supermarket, every aisle has more than one brand of whatever it is you're going to get.
That's right, Stephanie. It was funny.
Whatever you're going to get, there's more than one version of it.
Yes. Rockstar Regina Lee sliding through. Good morning, Regina. How you doing?
But I still get challenged, and I teach against this, but I still get challenged when I'm in the situation where someone else is doing what I can do, even if I do it very well, even if I might do it. I hesitate to say better. I'll just say differently, right? Even if I do it differently, it still is, it feels challenging at times to be in the same space, doing the same thing, even if we do them differently, especially if we know each other.
And it feels challenging to you.
Yes,
why?
Challenging is the best way.
Any particular reason why?
No, I don't. So, I mean, even people that I have taught to do what?
I'm going to say
even people that I've taught to do what it is that I do. And I've taught them. And they're doing it.
And they're rocking with it. Let's say
which is because I taught them. Right. They're rocking. They're doing it well. Mm-hmm. But now I want to hesitate to be in that space because it's almost as if I feel like then I've just given them that space and I should leave it alone.
It's a good thing we got the people in the room that we got in the room because you guys can help me with what Lisa just said. That's an entirely different response that I have in that same situation. Mm-hmm. Like, for example, I often ask, and I've been doing it a lot lately because I'm really, really excited about this networking thing, I'm on Alignable. When I ask them, I say, have you ever worked with a sales coach before? Even any of my potential clients, have you ever worked with a sales coach before? And if they say yes, my natural response is, I am way better than them. I say that I am way better than them. They probably were really, really good. And they probably were awesome at it. But I am better than that, is what I say. And I say I use my testimonials to back it up, and that's how I feel. Sometimes I say it I bust into a smile or a giggle even, or sometimes I just leave it flat, and they readily agree. Oh, yes, you've already taught me way more than another sales coach or taught me. I can see that you're better than them. Yeah, I am really, really feeling Alignable. It's filling up my calendar, Stephanie. It is. Yeah, but I feel like I'm better than the other sales coaches. I even had a business coach yesterday in a group I was in, and he said it again, man. He goes, well, as we all know, people do business with the people that they like. Because the answer to that, I don't agree with that statement because I think it's incomplete. I think people do business with people that they like and that they have a reason to do business with them. Liking is just not enough. Okay. Oh, here we go. Sister Sheila offers. My first thought regarding Lisa is imposter syndrome. After that, or the enemy is attacking. Thank you for that, Sister Sheila Gothard. I appreciate that because Lisa just said, even some of the people that she has taught to do, she sometimes feel a certain way when in their presence or doing what she's taught them to do. And that kind of threw me off balance because my response would be entirely different. But yeah, imposter syndrome takes on a lot of forms, and that certainly could be one. Mark Greer, I'm so happy that you're here. Oh, I might need to put that in his thing. Mark Greer, I'm happy that you're here. He says, people do business with the people that can pay them. Yes, we do business with the people that can pay us, and he's laughing at that. However, I always shudder when I think about I took this money from this woman whose husband was a pilot. And she's out of Indianapolis, Indiana. She's up in Indiana all her life. And she paid me in full. And I was happy to have the money. And she was the worst client ever. It was a pain in the butt. So it's taught me I don't want to just take money from anybody. I want to make sure it's a good fit. That's why I learned that so much. If it's not a good fit, every little thing I told her she had a problem with. I don't like you talking to me like that, Brian. Oh. And she was not melanated either. Sister Sheila says, the enemy comes to steal and destroy. That's what the enemy does. And it starts in the mind. Amen. This is ironic that you're feeling this moment, Lisa, on a moment when you have been meditating. You have spent some time in thought. You did your silver method just this morning, 17 minutes of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And one of the things that was that I got out of the thing that I listened to as well. I listened to a mini sermon, I guess you call it a sermon with Stephen Furtick. And yes, Fallon, absolutely. Qualifying the clients.
And if every time you forget, entrepreneurs, we forget it every time, sometimes in pursuit of money. I need this money, so I'm going to take this client anyway.
Nope.
Every time it's a painful reminder that of the mistake.
And I have gotten to the point because of a recent scenario that not only do I have to qualify their clients, but I have to let them know that this is not transferable. I don't deal with your team. I don't deal with your handler. I don't deal with you and me. If I qualify you, and after that, you don't just get to switch out and say, all right, now we got it all settled. Now you go work with them. No.
She says, you and me, not your team. I'm working with you. Another way of putting that would be me and you. Your mama and your cousin too. Rolling down the strip on Bowles. And then we coming up slamming Cadillac doors. Me and you.
No.
You don't want to hear it?
No. William Brown says, consider this: our complete and whole selves sometimes show up bigger than the parts we share with others. Parts of us can unlock someone else. Absolutely.
Wow. Consider our complete and whole selves sometimes shows up bigger than the parts that we share with others. That part right there, William Brown, sometimes show up bigger than the parts. That's amazing. Parts can and parts of us can unlock someone else. Parts of us, but our whole selves can sometimes show up bigger. That's something to that's something to think on. Latanya, she goes.
Latanya says, I know that's right, Lisa. Absolutely. I am not for everyone, and I have realized that I have the right to say everyone is not for me.
I imagine in your business at the time you deal with that too, especially in real estate. You have a client that might be the husband and the wife, and now you deal with husband, wife, and her mama or her sister too. Fallon says they have to be a good fit, not good financial benefit. If not a good financial benefit.
Absolutely.
And Latanya also says, Latanya says, Lisa's having a hard time taking you seriously this morning, Brian. Yeah. You're paraphrasing something that Sheila Gothard said earlier in the feed, and she says, read the room, Brian. But Sheila was trying to like drop hints. And Latanya's like, look, this is what it is, B.
Because Latanya's a grown woman.
Sheila's a grown woman too.
She's trying to save your ass. Shirley says, my business involves either the computer or the phone. So many people do not know how to use either. This makes photo organizing so hard. That's also true for me, that they are. Fallon says, shout out to Outcast. Yes. Right. That makes it also difficult, which is why I do what's called a discovery session, because I got to find out what is going to be the challenge that's going to be working with this person and what the benefit is. Because you don't have to come to me knowing how to do everything. But if I got to start and I'm only using this for example purposes, but I have to start in kindergarten and the outcome is a college curriculum, then that we've got to put in parameters for that so that we're knowing what we're dealing with. Dr. Deborah says, I have had some clients that were willing to pay, but their money was not even worth the craziness that I had to go through with them. Absolutely.
How many of you guys have ever refunded money back enthusiastically? I know you have. I know I have too. Look, take this back.
And I have a no refund policy.
Me too. It says so right in the agreement. It says so right there. Because I offer a service and not a product, there is a no refund policy. Because I can't get back what I pour into them. So they can't get any money back. I can't get back anything I said. Yep. Discovery calls are helpful.
Absolutely. They're mandatory. I can't quote you anything if I don't have a discovery call. It's like you walking up to a real estate person and say, I want to buy a house. How much is it going to cost?
Yeah, how much is the house? I used to use that. See, that's another one. I used to do that all the time in workshops. I haven't done that example in a long time. I used to always say, if someone calls up a real estate agent, for example, and says, how much is a house? And they want you to tell them a rate. Okay, you don't know how big a house they want. You don't know what city or neighborhood they want to be in.
What country?
How many people are going to go into the house? You can't intelligently quote a house. And here's the bad thing too in real estate. Some agents will give them an answer. Here in Charlotte, they average around 540,000, but you can get some in the 300s and sometimes two. They will actually go through the exercise and say what median prices of homes are in an area. And I consider that a mistake. Okay, you shouldn't even be talking about it like that. Okay.
I think the smartest thing that a person can do in the real estate, I don't know about every business, but I have gotten more confident about asking it in my business, is let's get them pre-qualified. Because I don't want to waste any time showing you a $500,000 house and we're nowhere near it.
You can't qualify for it, so why exercise?
Right, no.
Yep.
Not unless we're going to use it as an incentive, but then that can fall on deaf ears, because now I can take you out and drive you around all these $500,000 neighborhoods thinking that I'm going to get you psyched up enough to take your budget seriously. And then instead I've wasted all that gas and you're like, you know what? I like my apartment.
I like my apartment. I can be here for a little while longer.
I'll be all right if I stay right here.
Yeah. And that could happen too.
Right.
I mean, I started with real estate agents when I first started. I'm a sales coach, if you didn't know. And my first clients were real estate agents. And one of the things, and I read all the great books on real estate. I read them cover to cover. I read my first year in real estate. I read Walk Like a Giant, Sell Like a Madman. I read like 5 of the greatest books on real estate business. And I got myself armed with the verbiage and all that kind of stuff. And I started training real estate agents. And one of the things I learned about the real estate game is there's a lot of things that can kill your sale that has nothing to do with you. You can do everything right, and a pest inspection can kill it, or paperwork, or percentage.
William Brown says the only times we feel like an imposter is when we can't access as much of ourselves we desire to share. When we limit ourselves or feel others are limiting us, there is tension.
There is the tension. I don't know, William. He says the only times we feel like an imposter is when we can't access as much of ourselves as we desire to share. We can't access as much of ourselves as we desire to share. That line is hanging me up, brother. And he also says when we limit ourselves or feel others are limiting us, when we limit ourselves or feel that others are limiting us, there's the tension.
Absolutely. I understand.
But the can't access it is a challenge I'm having.
Well, the part I'm trying to get beyond so that I can even digest the sentence is the only times, because I think the only times it only is like all or nothing. Only is difficult for me because I have found many opportunities where never and
always and onlys
are not
those
true.
Are rarely true.
Right.
Rarely ever true.
And he says, consider this: we are big enough and too big at the same time.
William, don't make me yoke you, man.
We're going to have more conversations like these and in person, face-to-face on Zoom today at 7 p.m. With Women Empowerment Networks and Male Empowerment Networks. We get into the truth. We get into the dig in of the information and hear from one another's perspective live and in the inflection and tone of your own voice. Hear about whatever you want to share and celebrate in Women Empowerment Networks and Male Empowerment Networks. They have some deep conversations as well.
Tonight's the night. Yep.
7:00. Go to theempowermentduo.com and register for both.
Wait a minute. Sheila says, I think
imposter syndrome
is more when you are in the space and accessing. The way I we don't know I don't know if we have time to get into it so deeply. I really appreciate all of you guys' contributions, especially in this higher-minded place. Lisa just mentioned it. On the first and the third Tuesday of every calendar month, Lisa hosts a group called Women Empowerment Networks. It's a gathering where women can be live speed via Zoom. You can all talk to each other, see each other at the same time. It's not one way. At the same time, I host a meeting called Male Empowerment Networks down the hall and past 3 different doors. Male Empowerment Networks. Tonight, we've been doing these, both of us have been doing these, hosting these meetings at least twice a month since 2013. And I say at least twice a month because there was a season where I was hosting Male Empowerment Networks 4 times a month in 2 different cities, twice a month in Charlotte and twice a month in Greensboro, doing them both. So I went through that season. So at least twice a month since 2013 for 10 years now.
It's theempowermentduo.com, Fallon. I surely hope that you join us tonight.
And it's on the screen right now. Now, Fallon, if this is your first time in this room, unless we can catch up Wayne Brown's, he says,
it is my desire. It is my desire that I encourage you to live beyond your current understanding of things.
Our current understanding of things. Amen. And that's what he do. That's what he do. The show right here that you're watching, if this is your first time here, this show is called Let's Talk About It. And this show right here has been going on Monday through Friday since October of 2016. Now we begin our 8th year, 8 years in a row with Lisa on my left. Monday through Friday, we've been doing this here. We talk about personal conversations, business information, and spiritual information. I'm just hustling fast, baby. But one of the tenets of this show is we thank our consistent contributors. A consistent contributor to this show is someone who says stuff in the comments consistently. And the way we thank them here is with greeting songs and with greeting logos. And if you're not familiar with this, just bear with us. For example, Shirley DeJohnette Wyatt is first in the room today. She's been consistent enough that she's got a greeting song. And it goes, Shirley DeJohnette Wyatt will rock you, rock you. Shirley DeJohnette Wyatt will rock you, rock you. That's our lady, Shirley DeJohnette Wyatt of Sheila Gothard has a song.
Sheila, Sheila, storms are brewing in her eyes.
Oh, that's Sheila Gothard's song right there. William Brown has a song too. He's been rocking with us for years. William Brown's song goes like this. Good morning to our friend Will.
Nobody thinks like him still.
We love him so, and we always will. Our friend Will. That's our friend Will. Dr. Beverly's been rocking with us for 7 or 8 years. She's got a logo and it goes, Dr. Beverly is on the show. Good morning, Dr. Beverly.
And Belinda's in the building. We got a song for Belinda.
I don't remember it.
Hollywood
swinging. Let's go with that. Hollywood swinging. Let's go with that. I remember not too long ago, I went to the theater and I saw a Kool and the Gang show. I always wanted.
Not a Kool and the Gang show.
That's right. That's Ohio players, I think. Dr. Deborah Dunstan has a song.
Dr. Deborah. No.
Okay, go ahead.
Trauma healing and manifestation coach. Mm-hmm.
I got a chance to get on the phone with Dr. Deborah yesterday. It was only briefly, but I always enjoy talking with her.
Amen.
Wait a minute. We got a song for LaTanya Blackman.
The champion of family.
That's right. LaTanya, you got to come more often because I almost forgot your jam.
I love LaTanya. Hey, Fallon again. Thank you.
Stephanie Morris has a song too.
You gotta come back.
Stephanie Morris' song goes, Stephanie.
Life has new meaning to me.
There is beauty up above.
And things we never take notice of.
You wake up and Stephanie, you're in love. Ooh, ooh, ooh. That's Stephanie's jam. Mr. Mark Greer has a jam too. And Mark Greer jam goes like this. So wide you can't get around it.
So low you can't get under it.
So high you can't get over it. Mark Greer is under a groove. He's getting down just for the funk of it. Mark Greer is under a groove. Nothing can stop us now. Okay.
LaTanya says, I show 1, maybe 2 homes, and after that, they must sign
an agency agreement
and get pre-approved for me to show more. For real.
That's it. 1 or 2. That's it.
That's it. And they better be next to each other.
Scroll up a little bit more, please. Okay.
We got that one
already. Okay.
William Brown.
Yeah, William Brown.
William Brown says, the only times we feel like imposters is when we can't access much of ourselves.
Yeah.
We desire to, as much of ourselves as we just desire to share. When we limit ourselves or feel others are limiting us, there is tension.
Yeah, we got on a break. So I mean, not break, slow down a little bit when he got to that point before.
Actually, that last part of his sentence is one that I completely agree with. And I actually had to tell a client that I really do love, but he has gotten himself surrounded with other people that I don't necessarily click with, that I needed to have some space so that I could re-energize my creativity, because the energy was limiting me. And I think that that's true. We got that. I put the link out there, theempowermentduo.com. That's correct. Fallon, thank you for putting that. And Latanya says, you guys are so consistent and dedicated. Well, thank you. Fallon says, not my first time, but it's been a long time. LOL. I want to thank you,
Fallon Flowers. Let's do that. For shining your light on kids. I remember that now.
I love it.
I remember we did have that song before.
I love it. And Dr. Deborah's digging on her song. Mm-hmm.
That's right, Fallon. It's been a long time.
It has been. I love that song, though. I want to thank you,
Fallon Flowers, for shining your light on kids. That's awesome.
That's right. That's right.
That's been years, Fallon. Oh, it's been a long time.
And Latanya says, I know, right? That's right. We remember it to the tune of Alicia Meyer's song. That's right. I absolutely. It could not happen without your love. Ooh, without your love. Ooh, Jesus.
It's been a minute, my sister. Welcome back.
Absolutely.
All right, it's time for us to go. Now it's 9:51. We got 1 minute to get out of here.
We appreciate you. We do hope that we see you tonight for Women Empowerment Networks and Male Empowerment Networks. It's virtual. You don't have to leave your home. You don't even have to get dressed all the way. Just put a shirt on at least. But we look forward to seeing you.
at least that. This is Tuesday, and we're in fall now. We're in autumn. We're wearing t-shirts now. This is a crisp time of the year. I love this weather. It's my favorite season, actually.
Just for a very short time. I love it until the time changes. That makes me woo.
Well, you have a challenge with time change, so get ready for it. Have your strategy. You
want me to hold the sun up higher?
No, I want you to prepare your mind to deal with it differently than you ever have before.
Okay.
You got time between now and that time shift. She goes, I know. But we welcome you back, my sister.
And we're glad that you decided to make this your stop by place.
I love this season. So I want you guys to rock this season too. This is the fourth quarter of the year. October 1st marks the first day of the fourth quarter.
And there's a workshop tomorrow night at 7:00.
It's going to rock. I'm giving a workshop tomorrow night called Secrets of Converting the Interested into the Paying. Secrets of Converting the Interested into the Paying. And I learned a new technique, Dr. Deborah and Latanya. I have normally given webinars for either free or cost some money. Okay,
too much, a lot of much.
Either too much or free. Yes, but this one I'm not going to do it for free. I'm not going to charge a lot, but I'm going to charge. I'm going to charge $9.
Just
$9 to take part in this webinar. You can get it also from the empowermentduo.com.
Just go to the empowermentduo.com.
Secrets of Converting the Interested into the Paying.
Absolutely.
Now, I've already had a lot of testimonies in my life, but it seems like I'm getting more and more recommendations this past month. I've gotten a bunch of testimonials of recognition in this past month. I got like 6 of them this past month about appreciating the work I've been doing, because I'm razor sharp right now and I'm going to preach and teach. Okay?
Amen. Fallon says take more vitamin D. Nurse practitioners orders. Okay, more vitamin D
to prepare for the earlier dark.
Yeah, but it shortens my life.
It does not shorten your life. It's the same amount of time.
No, I can't drive after dark.
You don't drive after dark anyway, even in the summer.
Yeah, but the summer has a longer lifetime.
That's true. All that's true. But you know that's happening. See,
Good morning, Demona.
Winter comes. Demona DeBrew is in the house. Ain't nobody flyer.
Nobody's flyer than Demona DeBrew. Ain't nobody flyer.
We gotta go. Oh, Demona. You got to go back to where you ever got those cigars because I smoked one every day. They're all gone. Damona picked up cigars for me when she was traveling into the
He's
Caribbean.
sending you back.
So go back just to get those cigars. They're clean smokes. They're beautiful. We got to go. Fallon says,
helps combat seasonal affective disorder. SAD. I do know about SAD.
And low mood. Yeah.
Absolutely. And
it's a real thing.
Year.
It's a real thing. So you could prepare for it because you know it's coming. All right, we got to go.
We love you. And don't forget to have sex.